A new day, a new guide, this time on Arcanes. What are Arcanes, you might ask? Arcanes grant a multitude of buffs and, like mods, can drastically alter the performance of a warframe or a weapon. As of patch 41, there are currently 162 Arcanes in the game, and this will go over how to get all of them. Little disclaimer, these are the base locations for the respective Arcanes, and some may return in events. This guide will be sorted into areas you can get the Arcanes. Additionally, if you are looking for a specific Arcane, I've left timestamps below in the description to quickly get to that section. Now without further ado, Eidolons and Orphix Arcanes. Before I list these, I'd like to mention that while these Arcanes can drop from Orphix, I would recommend waiting for Eidolons at night due to how low the drop rate is and how torturous the grind is for them. Final note, Eidolons have different drop rates depending on kill or capture, but it's often better to just capture them for a chance at everything. And all of these Arcanes are for warframes. The first Eidolon in Eidolon Cole is the Terrorist, which drops Arcane Tempo, Arcane Consequence, Arcane Momentum, Arcane Ice, Arcane Nullifier, Arcane Warmth, and Arcane Resistance for killing it, but capturing it rewards a chance at Arcane Deflection, Arcane Healing, and Arcane Victory. The second Eidolon in Eidolon Call is the Gauntalyst, which drops Arcane Strike, Arcane Awakening, Arcane Guardian, Arcane Phantasm, Arcane Eruption, Arcane Agility, Arcane Acceleration, and Arcane Precision for killing it, but capturing it will reward a chance at Arcane Pulse, Arcane Ultimatum, and Arcane Aegis. The third and last Eidolon for Eidolon Cole is the Hydrolyst, which drops Arcane Trickery, Arcane Velocity, Arcane Arachne, Arcane Rage, Arcane Fury, and Arcane Avenger for killing it, but capturing it will reward a chance at Arcane Barrier, Arcane Grace, and most importantly, Arcane Energize. Starting with Duviri's Warframe Arcanes, we have Arcane Reaper, Arcane Intention, and Arcane Power Ramp. For our primary Arcanes, we have Longbow Sharpshot, Primary Blight, Primary Exhilarate, Primary Obstruct, and Shotgun Vendetta. Our secondary Arcanes are Akimbo Slipshot, Secondary Shiver, and Secondary Outburst. Last but not least, we have a single Arcane for the Operator, Magus Aggress. All of these can be obtained from the Undercroft portals in the Duviri experience on Steel Path. Additionally, these can appear in the Circuit Steel Path reward cycle for that week, alongside being sold by Acrithis in the Dorma Zone or at the end of the Duviri experience. On the topic of Steel Path, Acolytes appear periodically in Steel Path missions and drop one of 6 Arcanes: Primary Deadhead, Primary Dexterity, Primary Merciless, Secondary Deadhead, Secondary Dexterity, and Secondary Merciless. Arbitrations, widely known for their mods, do drop more than that. They also do give some Arcanes. The Arcanes that they drop are Arcane Blade Charger, Arcane Bodyguard, Arcane Pistolier, Arcane Primary Charger, and Arcane Tanker. These are rewarded from rotations in arbitration missions or for 10 Vitus Essence with the Arbiters of Hexus at any relay. Isolation Vaults are a bounty type in Deimos that drop Arcanes for Warframes and Infested Kit Guns. There are 7 Arcanes in total and drop depending on the rotation of the bounties. Therium Contagion drops from all 3 rotations, while Residual Boils and Residual Shock drop from rotation A. Residual Malador and Residual Viramia drop from rotation B, and Therium Demulcent and Therium Infection drop from rotation C. The Zeraman houses many popular Arcanes, such as Molt Augmented, Molt Efficiency, Molt Reconstruct, and Molt Vigor for Warframes, Fractalized Reset for primaries, Cascadia Accuracy, Cascadia Empowered, Cascadia Flare, and Cascadia Overcharge for secondaries, Emergence Dissipate, Emergence Renewed, and Emergence Savior for operators, Eternal Eradicate, Eternal Logistics, and Eternal Onslaught for amps. All of these can be obtained as random drops on the Zeraman or from purchasing them from the vendor Cavallero for some standing. Conjunction Survival is a survival mission type on Lua and has 4 arcanes to collect. Arcane Blessing is from Rotation C and can also be farmed from Captain Vor on Steel Path in Mercury. Arcane Rise is from Rotation B. Primary Frostbite can be acquired from Rotation C, and Conjunction Voltage is for secondaries as well, and can be acquired from Rotation B, and both alternatively can be acquired from Nightcap bounties on Fortuna, or bought from Nightcap himself. You can also buy all 4 of these arcanes with Lua Thrax Plasm that you get in this mode from Yonta on the Zeraman. Much like Conjunction Survival, Mirror Defense is another alter mission type that drops its own arcanes. Arcane Double Back, Arcane Steadfast, and Secondary Encumber come from Rotation C. Primary Plated Round and Secondary Kinship comes from Rotation B. You can also purchase these arcanes from Otak in the Necrolist for 60 Belric and Rania crystal fragments each. Last on our list of alter game types is Ascension on Uranus that has 5 arcanes to get. All of these arcanes come from killing the optional Sister of Parvos after activating all 3 beacons. Arcane Battery and Secondary Surge additionally come from Captain Vor on Mercury on Steel Path, while Secondary Fortifier can be acquired from Nightcap bounties or Nightcap himself. Arcane Ice Storm and Melee Afflictions do not have additional drop locations, but all 5 can be bought from Ortis in Drifter's Camp with the Vestigial motes from completing the mission for 10 motes each. The Ostrons and Cetus have arcanes specifically for Zaws. Exodia Triumph, Exodia Valor, Exodia Brave, Exodia Force, Exodia Hunt, and Exodia Mike come from Hawk for some standing. Exodia Contagion and Exodia Epidemic only come from Plaguestar and Knights of Nibiru's events, with no other way of obtaining them outside of them. The quills that are also on Cetus have more Operator and Amp arcanes to acquire, starting with Operator Arcanes, Magus Husk, Magus Vigor, Magus Cadence, Magus Cloud, Magus Replenish, Magus Elevate, and Magus Nourish can be purchased from the quills for some standing, alongside the Amp arcanes Virtuous Null, Virtuous Tempo, Virtuous Fury, Virtuous Strike, Virtuous Ghost, and Virtuous Shadow. Solaris United Arcanes are for kick guns. Pax Bolt, Pax Charge, Pax Seeker, and Pax Soar come from Rude for 10,000 standing each, and there's no other drop location. Much like the quills, Voxolaris has arcanes for Operator and Amps. Starting with the Operator Arcanes, Magus Overload, Magus Glitch, Magus Revert, Magus Firewall, Magus Drive, Magus Lockdown, Magus Destruct, Magus Anomaly, Magus Melt, Magus Exhilarate, and Magus Repair come from Voxolaris for 10,000 standing each. The Amp Arcanes, Virtuose Forge, Virtuose Trojan, Virtuose Spike, and Virtuose Surge also cost some standing with no other sources for drops. Albrecht's Laboratories, aka the Murmur Nodes, have melee arcanes to get. Melee Animosity, Melee Exposure, Melee Fortification, Melee Influence, Melee Retaliation, and Melee Vortex can be acquired from killing the Fragmented Assassination, Whispers in laboratory missions, or Guzzlings in non-disruption missions. Additionally, Melee Vortex can drop from Captain Vor on Mercury Steel Path. All of these arcanes can be bought from Bird 3 for some standing. Melee Crescendo and Melee Duplicate come from Temporal Archimedia and Netracell missions. Arcane Bellicose, Arcane Camisado, Arcane Crepuscular, Arcane Impetus, Arcane Truculence, Arcane Crux, Secondary Innervate, and Melee Dodi all come from Tekrot Safes, Scaldra Caches, and Halvania Exterminate, the Afervon Tank Assassination, Face-Off missions, and the Scaldra Screamer in Stage Defense. These additionally can be bought from Eleanor for standing. Arcane Hotshot, Arcane Universal Fallout, and Arcane Escapist all come from Temporal Archimedia and can additionally be bought for Pix chips. The Decendia, Warframe's newest mode as of time of recording this video, has 9 arcanes to collect. Arcane Circumvent, Arcane Concentration, Arcane Expertise, and Arcane Persistence are our Warframe Arcanes. Primary Bulwark, Primary Debilitate, and Primary Overcharge are our primary arcanes. Secondary Irradiate is our secondary arcane, and Melee Careen is our melee arcane, all of which can be bought from Roth from La Cathedral and Sanctum Anatomica for 5 Maffica each, or as a weekly reward from the Steelpath version of Decendia. The Perita Rebellion, released alongside Decendia, also introduced Separator Operator Arcanes, available to equip only after acquiring a Void Weapon. Zid-An Ashir, Zid-An Haras, Zid-An Asbok, Zid-An Sek-Eel, and Zid-An Uskos all drop with an equal chance of 20% per Rotation C completion, aka every 3 orders. Additionally, these arcanes can also be bought from Marie at La Cathedral on a rotating schedule. In Sanctum Anatomica, once you talk to Loid, you are able to use your Vosper that you get in order to roll for a random arcane all the way up to Halvania. In order to gain Vosper, you need to break down excess arcanes. This can be very useful for things like Melee Crescendo and Melee Duplicate, alongside Arcane Energize and other legendary arcanes. And that is the current list of all the current arcanes that you can get and where to get them. If this guide has helped you in any way, shape, or form, consider leaving a like and a sub, and hope to see you on the next one. Peace.